From Zanzibar.
Hello team, more known as Merusame.
Yes. Hello Rakaka.
Can you describe your position in SK? What do you do for SK Gaming?
So I'm like a person who does the small things in the background. I do the player management, for instance. Like I look up the players at the events, especially the Counter-Strike team. It's like I'm my boys. I look after them a lot. What else I do? Like I plan the events for the boys, you know. There's people. I have to book the flights. I have to book the hotel. I have to do this and that, you know. So it's all little things. If they need a new headset, they come to me. They need a new keyboard, they come to me. I work with partners as well sometimes, but so it all comes down to little things in SK. Like I help doing the accounting. As I said, I do the players. I do partners. I work with publishers sometimes. So yeah, I mean, all the little shit that needs to be done. Let's put it that way.
How many of you are full time at SK Gaming as the staff?
It's just Alex, my boss. He's working full time. That's it.
And you're not working full time?
No, I'm not working. I study.
Okay.
And I do probably, I don't know, maybe 30 hours a week, I guess. It's almost full time.
Almost full time.
But in the rest of the time I go and study at university.
And then you have, of course, your staff of journalists with foreigners.
Yeah, we have Thorin. He's our editor-in-chief. That's another thing I do. I work with him quite closely. So because I'm here, I do the coverage. You know, he's my new camera. Yeah, so it's Thorin who does the coverage. Then we have 3 or 4 writers who just do the online stuff. Then it's me. Then we have an accountant. Then we have another accountant. Yeah. And we have 2 more sales guys.
Yeah, and then you got Rice who comes once in a while to help out.
Rice is like similar to me. He does the little things. He helps out with the marketing and the sales as well. But he also does the StarCraft 2 people. So it all comes down to small things. Everybody does this and that, you know.
I must guess, S. Budak from Inferno Online was before the manager of SK. Is he still the manager for SK?
Does. We do it together a lot.
Okay.
Budak still does heaps of stuff for us. I'm in very close contact with Anton. I call him up a lot, probably once or twice a week, and we talk about the team. He tells me if we need changes or what has to be done. Like, for instance, the new team is only thanks to Budak. I wouldn't have done that because I haven't got the contact as he has. So Budak did that all.
Cool.
Forest and Get Right coming back again.
I must ask, you invested a lot, of course, in this Counter-Strike team. You're getting like the super team. But on the other parts of the organization, for example, the FIFA twins have stepped down. Mad Frog, you didn't prolong that, and you got in 2 other fairly unknown players for the scene. You still have Rafa for your Quake Live, but before you had more players like Toxic. What are your future plans, like organization-wise, and what kind of games do you want to focus on?
Okay, I can tell. So the 3 games we focus on at the moment, as you can imagine, is Quake Live, is Counter-Strike, and is StarCraft 2. We'll do Counter-Strike until the tournaments aren't covered anymore. We'll just keep on going. We always want to have a good team. StarCraft 2, we're doing that slowly. We wanna get the players when they're new and when they're talents, and bind them to the organization, and that they grow up with us and make them big. That's what we like doing. We did that with Rafa in Quake. He's been now around for, I guess, 3 years now. He's been playing for SK. We prolonged his contract every year, and that's what we're going to try and do in StarCraft 2 as well. As you maybe know, StarCraft 2 players from Korea are very hard to get because they play in their houses and they have their own teams. It's quite difficult, but maybe one day we'll see a Korean StarCraft 2 team again in SK. That would be really nice. But at the moment, we're still looking for new talents, and we are going to announce a new talent soon as well.
Yeah. Really?
I can say he's from Denmark, but you don't know if you know him.
Kiara.
No, he's new. Not many people would know him. Anyway, yeah. So that's the plan actually. These 3 games, and of course we're focusing on League of Legends as well a bit at the moment, where they're coming here and playing the tournament tomorrow.
Yeah, but this, I must say, is a new strategy for SK Gaming. You have always picked the big stars, always having the best players like Lynn. I think you had Sakard back in the days.
Yeah, we had.
And of course Mad Frog, and we already talked about Toxic and all the others big superstars like Heaton and Potty. Is that something that you has planned to do, or is it more the situation with StarCraft 2 that is hard to judge which players are the best, and maybe it's not worth it to give a big contract to them?
I think it's a mixture, as what you said. We thought about this already and wanted to do it this way, but also the situation in StarCraft 2 with the players, it's booming at the moment. You know, some players do expect horrendous amounts of money, which is absolutely over the top. Like the relation is not correct, you know. So it's sort of the thing that sort of comes together, I would say. But priority one at the moment is we want to get talents and build them up. That's the best thing we think we can do, and it's a good thing for esport as well. Because if you always see the same faces, it's boring.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe this is not correct or true, but I'm still gonna say, like, you had Intel like in 2005, I think. You lost the sponsorship. After a while, you got AMD. Then you lost AMD, and we were out a big sponsor for a while. Then Acer stepped in. I think it was 2 years ago, or something like that. Now it seems that Toshiba is like an extra. You didn't really need Toshiba, and it's like putting the organization up again. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean that's the normal fluctuation of things, I would say. I mean, if you change your sponsor around, and you get a better offer, and that's what we got. And then you say, okay, we have to go with the flow. You know what I mean? So if you have a sponsor and he pays you this amount of money, and then a new sponsor comes, then you ask the old sponsor, do you want to go with her? And if it doesn't fit, you just say, yeah, sorry, we're going to do with Toshiba. So now we have Toshiba, of course. I mean, it's the same if you would go now and get a new job. Yeah. You get an offer from A, you get an offer from B, you go to the offer which gives you the better, which suits you the best. So Toshiba suited us the best, not only financially, but everything else around it. It just made more sense for us.
As I understood it, Kingston was supposed to be the head sponsor, or the main sponsor, but now Toshiba is it. Or can you give more information about how you distribute your sponsorships?
Yeah, so we have there are title sponsors which we don't have. So like Fnatic has a title sponsor, MSI.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have that. We only have SK-Gaming, and then we have head sponsors, main sponsors, and that is SteelSeries, Kingston, and Toshiba. And I'll probably get this all wrong, that's why I'm not going to say anything now, because I haven't got the contracts in mind at the moment, what is what, but it's quite similar. Main sponsor, head sponsor, and these three, so it's like SteelSeries, Toshiba and Kingston.
They are they are on the same level?
They're more or less on the same level, let's say. Sure, yeah, something like that, I would say. I mean, they're in our header on their website, so they're sort of the most important sponsors for SK, these three.
I see.
With Bigfoot, sorry.
With Bigfoot. You had SK Mad Frog, who did a big comeback, and I assume he got okay money for signing with SK again. What didn't work out for you? Was it that did he want full time and go to Korea? Was that like his ultimate, demand, or what happened?
It wasn't his ultimate demand, but I think Frederick's dream was to go to Korea again, as he did once.
Yeah.
Years ago, 6-7 years ago, when he played with He-Man and all those guys. And I can understand him. I mean, he wanted to do that, and we didn't want to stand in his way. And I'm actually not sure what he's doing at the moment, Frederick. If he has a new team or anything, I don't know what his plans are.
Nothing is announced.
The thing is, also, he wasn't sure if he is going to continue working. It was either gaming or working.
Yeah.
Now, if he stops working, then he has to make the same money in gaming.
For sure.
And if we can offer him that amount, then we can keep him. So it was a couple of factors that came into play. But I would wish him I would wish for Frederick, it would be great if he could go to Korea and pick up his game again as he wants, because he's a good player. You know? He just needs the right environment.
Talking about these stars, you have your SK team in Counter-Strike. They're back. They're stronger than for a very long time. Maybe even back to 2005.
Maybe.
Hopefully. Maybe they can win again. And you have Rafa, who has dominated the last 2 years and still seems to be fairly in shape, even though it was close in the group stage. But will it be a problem, for example, in 2012, if you can't get your StarCraft 2 players into these main tournaments? Going to WCG, going to Intel Extreme Masters, maybe not getting the big invites.
it's not. I mean, that's what we aim for, sure. So if we don't have Counter-Strike anymore, we don't have the Quake Stars anymore, and we have our StarCraft 2 team, we will have to make sure, even if it's very expensive, that we have good players. Sure. If it's the only team, I mean, we wanna participate at the big events, WCG, as you just said, Extreme Masters, all those big ones. We have to be there. You know, I mean, we don't have to be there because we don't have StarCraft 2 players here, but we are in the other disciplines.
Yeah.
If it comes down to StarCraft 2, we don't have any other teams anymore that play Counter-Strike or Quake. Sure, we'll have to be there somewhere. In one game or another, we'll have to have an SK player, of course.
You signed fairly recently Black Ops team for Xbox, but MLG has announced that it's Black Ops, but it's PS3. Will you guys transfer from the console and go to America to play?
Okay, that's a very tricky thing with America, and America, the MLG, they have the amateur series, and they have the professional series, and in the professional series you have 8 teams, right? In Halo and in Call of Duty. These teams have more or less exclusive contracts with MLG themselves. You know, they make merchandise, they make clothing for them, as you all know. So it's very tricky to get your feet into that market. So no, we're not going to change. We're really happy with the German team at the moment. They're dominating Europe quite well at the moment. Well, maybe not dominating, but they belong to the best teams at the moment. They're great guys. And MLG, in terms of console, that will be something in the future, maybe 3 or 4 years or so. At the moment, it's too tricky because it's like a closed circle, more or less, when it comes to the pro teams.
With the esport market expanding, some partly thanks to StarCraft 2 for sure, is it easier for you to get, for example, maybe the Counter-Strike players to do those more willingly, doing promotion and marketing stuff and trying to become those stars outside of the game? Has that attitude changed in some way?
Do you mean with StarCraft now, or?
No, like that esports is developing and it's more money, and then the player seems to be more willing, even the Counter-Strike players who normally has been very reactful.
I don't think it's changed that much. I think it's a thing of the players themselves. I mean, there have been players like Spawn and Heaton that have done it in the past and they became very successful. Nowadays we have players like Alice or let's say Get Right. I mean, you can use them in advertisements, and they're very, very successful as well with that kind of stuff. So I mean, I think it hasn't evolved in the teams that the players want to do it more, but I think companies that sponsor teams, they see the opportunity to use the players. I think that has changed, but I think the players, I mean, the last 5 or 6 years are the same in this view. I mean, look at Fatality, for instance. When he started to do marketing, it worked very well. You know, I mean, if the player knows, I mean, he was very successful, of course, at that. But I think the sponsors are finding out, okay, I think we can use this player, you know, in gaming, and it will help.
Yeah. Talking about Heaton, he was interviewed by, I think it was FragBite, and he said some kind of harsh statements against SK that more or less screw us, and that's SK style. And also Rakaka has been very frequently trying to find what SK is doing and not doing. Is it hard for you as an organization taking those kind of blows from a player like Heaton?
It's hard, of course. Sure, it's hard because it sort of puts the organization in bad light. And but I think it's actually. This was before my time, so I can't say too much about it. I'm not sure what went wrong there and what was going on there. But I would say like it's a normal part of the business. It's like in soccer as well. There's a lot of trash talking, and there are rumors, and then there are true things that have been said. Now, what was true and what isn't true in this situation, it's hard to say. I'm not sure. I can't say anything to it. That's the truth. I don't know what happened there because, as I said, I wasn't in SK-Gaming back then. But it's not the only thing that is being talking about in the gaming scene, the esports, like over other teams as well. I think that's a normal process. This happens. Sure.
What do you think will happen in the next year for SK? How does the future look?
2012 or this one?
2011, 2012. It's a bright future?
I think it's gonna get better, of course. I mean, esports is getting better. It's getting much bigger.
Yeah.
It's getting into. I mean, it's on national television in Sweden. I talked to you guys 2 weeks ago to a TV team who make films, and they said they'll bring DreamHack on TV and everything. They have hours of broadcast, and that's something pretty decent. So these kind of things are good for esport. Makes esport better. In terms of players and teams, I think StarCraft 2 is going to get very big. I think Counter-Strike is going to die. And
really?
I think so. Counter-Strike 1.6. Yeah, I think it will be next year. I guess there will be some tournaments that will have it, maybe in Asia. But I think Extreme Masters will slowly then change their game. I guess it could be Source even, but maybe something else. But I think Counter-Strike is going to die out. I don't know what will happen to Quake, but I think StarCraft 2 will be the main game. And for us as well, I think it will have to change to StarCraft 2 then at one point. If Counter-Strike goes, I mean, Counter-Strike is number one, of course.
Yeah.
Then comes StarCraft 2, but one day Counter-Strike won't be there anymore. It might be StarCraft 2 then. Well, it has to be at the moment. I would say it will be StarCraft 2, but there might be a different game. You never know.
Yeah.
What will come up.
Do you have any final shout-outs or anything you want to say?
Well, I hope you guys are keeping your fingers crossed for us here, that we take home a gold medal in one discipline. It would be nice, or maybe even two, but I mean, we want to be humble here. And greetings to Sweden, to Rakaka, and to all the other sites. And one day I'll be able to read all the comments in Swedish when I learn the language. Thanks.
Or just check maybe Rakaka World.
Rakaka World. I've been reading it actually.
Nice.
Not bad. Thank you.
Good luck in the tournaments.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.